Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Captain Vershawn Jackson.
We're going to get Ahman Green set up in here.
You know, we go back 15, 20 years ago, video games is a picture of a kid or adult sitting in the basement, you know, lights off by themselves, eating Doritos, drinking Coca-Cola and all out of shape. And it's different now.
Yeah, y'all working out.
You know, and it's like, you got to work it out now. So I'm adding in practice sessions in the weight room. We're working out.
Get them, Ahman.
You know, we're doing esports camp, just like training camp. We're doing 2 a day where we're on the Xboxes, we're on the PCs, 3 hours in the morning, 3 hours at night.
The dangers of secondhand smoke are well known. But what about secondhand aerosol, which is created when using e-cigarettes? Science already shows a secondhand aerosol can contain nicotine, heavy metals, and cancer-causing agents. Eliminating exposure to secondhand aerosol is an important step to keeping everyone safe. Breathe easier knowing the facts.
For help quitting, call the Nebraska Tobacco Quit Line, 1-800-QUIT-NOW, 1-800-784-8669. Paid for by Tobacco Free Nebraska. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Neil Armstrong waited 6 hours and 39 minutes to step onto the surface of the moon. Jackie Robinson waited 20 months to play his first game with the Brooklyn Dodgers. And even DiCaprio had to wait 22 years to win an Oscar. You can wait until your destination. Don't text and drive.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Public schools are the cornerstones of our communities, and it's communities that ensure students have great public schools. I'm Jenny Benson, president of the Nebraska State Education Association. Learning happens at home, in school, and everywhere in between. We all have a role to play in supporting student learning in the classroom and beyond. Help us make this the best school year yet.
Sponsored by the Nebraska State Education Association, aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association in this station.
If you can plan barbecues and weddings, you can plan to protect yourself from a natural disaster. Sign up for local alerts, prepare an emergency kit, and make a family communications plan. Get started at ready.gov/plan.
Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
When you're high, you feel different. You think different, you talk different, you draw different, you listen to music different, but you probably knew that. Problem is, you also drive different, and not in a good way. That's why driving high is illegal everywhere. So if you're high, just don't drive. Make a plan to get a sober ride. Because if you feel different, you drive different. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Sunday morning. It's quiet. Not in a weird, too quiet way. Calm, peaceful, tranquil. You pour yourself that cup of coffee. You slice yourself a hearty chunk of one of Beatrice Bakery's breakfast breads. Now, maybe you're an apple streusel guy. Nothing wrong with that. I can respect that. Personally, I'm a turtle nut man. Something about those pecans. But the real ones know, don't sleep on that date nut bread. Sweet, but not too sweet. Nutty, not overly. The perfect morning treat. Beatrice Bakery. Online at beatricebakery.com. Welcome to our world of yum.
This is the Deep End with Nebraska diver Reagan Hinzig and Nebraska swimmer Madison Ronquillo on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome back into Ticket Weekends. This is the Deep End. I am Harrison Arns. No Reagan today, but we do have CC stepping in, as well as Madison, as always. Obviously, these guys had Big Tens, so we'll probably dive into that as well. But how you guys doing today?
Pretty good. Yeah, no complaints.
Yep, and like I said before, no Reagan, a little sick today, but no worries. CC stepping in. You're kind of becoming a veteran at this point. You've been in a few times now.
I mean, it's fun. I like it. But yeah, I mean, I wish Reagan was better.
Yeah.
Not to celebrate that, but...
We do hope for Reagan's health.
Yeah.
And again, if you want to join the conversation, Starter Heyman text line 402-464-5685, and you can put a face to the voice. We're streaming on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube as well. So I'll kind of throw it to you guys. I mean, you probably have a lot of storylines. You can go anywhere with this one.
Yeah. I mean, do we want to start off with highs and lows?
We can do that. It's your show.
You're right. It is my show. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Okay. High, low. Caitlin, you have a...
Okay. So the low was after missing like almost an entire week of school for Big Tens. I came back and I had a test almost every day last week. So that was
Yikes.
that was stressful, but we got through it. And then to reward myself / to celebrate, it was my birthday yesterday. So like I didn't do anything with school yesterday. It was super fun. We went did a little shopping, so it's just a great day.
That's a good day.
Oh man, it's been such an eventful week. I don't know where to start. Okay, I'm gonna have to say but okay, we're gonna combine them into one event. Both my high and low is being done with swimming.
Okay.
Like the high and the fact that like, oh my gosh, like I did it, I made it. Now like I can try new things and my schedule's free and like I can kind of do whatever I want to a certain extent. My low is that I do whatever I want. I don't have a schedule and I have to decide for myself what I'm going to do each day. And not going to lie, it's kind of stressful because I still have that part of me where it feels like I have to be productive and I have to do something with my day. But at the same time, I'm like, this takes so much more energy planning it. And it's been kind of a learning curve trying to figure out what to do. For example, what time do I wake up in the morning? What time do I eat breakfast? What time do I do my homework? Like, little things like that. But yeah. Harrison, high, low.
My high, I said it. I just got a nice deep clean of my apartment. You know when you like keep pushing things
Yeah.
off and like things like laundry,
Mhm.
and then you have a day where it's like 5 loads of laundry, and then
Mhm.
you have a day and it's like 3 loads of dishes in the dishwasher. So I had one of those days because I was kicking rocks down the road way too far. So I just took a full day, cleaned everything. It smells great. There's not any dust in there anymore, no dog hairs. So now it's a nice clean apartment. And then I finished another book. So now I'm on to the next one.
Ooh.
That's another goal for the year is read more. It's like it's been so long. Like I started this year a little before the year started, like trying to get back into reading. And like when you finish a book like page to page and it's been a long time, it's like a little bit of guilt. It's like, oh man, I need to do this more.
Yeah.
So that's going to that. That's probably my high, reading and then clean apartment. So just having a cozy, healthy environment so I can work on my goals.
Are you a Goodreads by any chance?
Do what?
Goodreads.
Goodreads.
Have
What
you
is
heard
that?
of that? It's an
Mm-mm.
app where you could like track which book you read, and then like you could like rate them. But it's also kind of like a social media app where like you could follow other people and be friends with other people and see what they're reading and
What?
see their reviews. Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. I actually kind of want to get in on that.
Yeah. Caitlin's like a veteran.
I was
She's
gonna
got a
say you're
whole-
big
Oh,
on
yeah.
reading. Last time you were here, you were talking about that. So do you use Bookreads?
Goodreads is actually I'm not a veteran. I only got started on it over Christmas break because so I I love reading, and one of my best friends from back home was like, bro, if you love reading, I've been on Goodreads for forever. Why aren't you on this? And I was like, you ask a great question. I don't know. And so then I kind of like started doing it over Christmas break. And then since then it's been like addicting because like other friends are like also starting to read my favorite series. And so it's kind of fun to like watch them comment each time they finish a book. They're like flying through it too, which I mean, they're not athletes. So that can make sense. But so that's super fun. And it was like, honestly, not low-key like a dream come true because last night we went to dinner and it just all of a sudden descended into all of us talking about books. And I was like, man, I have the best friends. Like, this is great. So yeah.
Are you big on that? Do you have the app?
I made my account yesterday.
Did you really?
Yeah,
So
that's
now
why. And I was on it this morning too. I was like, listing all the books that like I have read. And, like it's so satisfying to see the number go up. So yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to download that after
Mhm.
the show now.
Yep.
And like you can connect with people and like they have
Yeah.
reviews, so like you can find someone who has like similar
Mhm.
interest in books.
Yeah.
Oh, that's really cool.
There's like influencers and groups and stuff too. It's so much fun. Like,
So what's the page look like when you pull it up on your phone? What does that look like?
I mean, okay, so like you have
It's like a Twitter, or like there's just a feed of like people sharing books.
yeah, so there's like a feed. Mine's kind of crazy because like 3, including Madison, like 3 different people made accounts, and so all of you guys are just adding which books you've read, and so everyone's like, it's just like you can scroll through and you can see who likes it, and if you haven't read the book yet, you can like say you want to read it, or if you like have read it, you just hit that arrow, and then you can like write a review and stuff, and add it to your bookshelf, and then like I'm okay, again, not a veteran, so I don't know how you do this, but you can like somehow make it so that it tracks your progress. So like I can see how far my friend is into the book.
that's
and
cool.
Stuff. Still
Oh,
learning how to do that.
I figured that out yesterday. Actually, you have to put it in the category of you're currently reading.
Yes, but do you know how it updates for you because I'm pretty sure she's not constantly being like, oh, I finished a page.
Unless it's like a digital book, and then she can like sync up her digital
That would make
book
sense.
to her Goodread.
Yeah, because
'Cause
you could connect your Kindle.
Oh my god. Okay, you're definitely right because she has a Kindle. Okay.
Yeah.
So that makes
The-
sense.
The dots are connecting. Thank you.
So that's every page she flips, it's counting. Okay, cool.
Because I have a Nook, so I don't have a Kindle, so I don't think I can connect mine. Which kicking myself for making that decision, but it's okay.
I was gonna say, do you prefer paperback or do you like the Kindles and Nooks?
I like paperbacks a lot, but for the like being able to read and like get like just listen to more books, I like audiobooks probably the best because then
Really?
I can just like the whole doing it while I can drive. I feel like that's the one free time I have during the day. It was really nice back home because all my drives were like 20 minutes, so I'd get like a solid like chapter in, and now all my drives are like 8 minutes, so it's kind of like a little bit more stinted, but
So that's
still
the
good.
problem. I do like the audiobooks, but sometimes like I'll be listening and then like you said, like you get home and then I'm not gonna sit in my car and wait for this chapter to finish. Like I'm not gonna sit here 15 minutes, just let my car run. But at the same time, I don't want to like get out in the middle while I'm like a really important part, then I'm just gonna have to go and listen back to anyways.
Yeah.
What about you, Madison? Do you prefer paperback or do you like the Nook
I
or
like
Kindle?
I like the paperback because it's like so satisfying to see like how far you are through the book
Mhm.
and like holding it. I like the Kindle for when I'm like laying in bed and you just got to tap to turn the page instead of like move your whole arm.
You know, they
to
make
That is
things.
true.
They make things for Kindles and like Nooks and stuff that are like that hold them.
Yes.
And then you have like a button, and so you can literally be under the covers, and it will be holding it for you, and you just have to click. Like,
Okay,
Yeah.
that's an upgrade.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
I have started listening to audiobooks like when I run on the treadmill.
Yeah, that's
and
good.
it makes the time go by really fast.
I'm telling you,
like
dude.
it's kind of nice. I'm coming for you in that
Oh,
marathon now. So yeah.
Have you guys read David Goggins'
No.
book yet? That'd be if you're working out or like you like audiobooks and that one.
Wait, no,
will-
you wrote I put that on my Goodreads last time we were here.
Oh, that's right, because we
Yeah.
talked about it. Yeah, like that one's like you will just keep running. Like it will just like inspire you to never stop the workout. He's just an absolute animal. But yeah, David Goggins. But again, if you guys want to join the conversation, it's a topic of books right now. You can mention what your favorite book is. Starter Heyman text line 402-464-5685. So since we're on it, what are you guys reading right now?
Oh man, I haven't read in like 2 weeks. Okay, so I'm
Well, you guys have also been busy.
Yeah.
So what was the last thing you read, I guess?
I'm still rereading that one series that I read every like Christmas break. I'm not as far as I normally am, but I'm reading that one. I kind of stopped that one right before Big Tens because I knew it was about to get to a sad part, and I was like, I don't want to be sad during Big Tens. So I was like, we're gonna end on this high note and come back to it. So just haven't come back to it yet. But yeah.
Okay.
Mhm. So like right now I'm listening to Crazy Rich Asians while I run. I didn't realize how different it is from the movie, but that's another side note.
For better or worse?
Better.
Better.
Okay,
Like it's way
good.
more detailed and I'm
That's
like
good.
learning a lot more about the family. And then I'm trying to read this one book that my sister recommended called The Winners. It's a fiction book, but the way that the writer writes it, like he'll mention a character and he'll be like, "Oh, this will be important, but nobody knows why he's important. You'll see in 24 hours." And then it moves on to another character. So it's very like it kind of writes it like a mystery. It's like you have no idea what's going on, but he keeps introducing all these characters.
Just
that
got
are somehow
breadcrumbs. That's all you're
intertwined.
following.
Yes, breadcrumbs. Literally.
That's cool.
So I'm like 200 pages in, but it's just takes a lot of energy to read it and like try to like remember which character does what.
Oh, so it's like a big thinking kind of piece.
Yeah.
Those are tough. I've picked up books that I definitely didn't finish. Like I picked up like at one point I was like, oh, philosophy, that's kind of cool. Like let's try to open up my mind. And I think it was called Thus Spoke Zarathustra. And it was really cool. It's supposed to be this renowned book, and it was good, but a lot of it was just right over the head. Like I was not picking up. I was like halfway through the book, and I was like, I'm not absorbing hardly any of this. So I just put it down. I was like, maybe another day when I'm wiser. But I just could not piece it together to save my life, like what this guy was trying to say.
Yeah, that's like a book you have to take notes on. and
It really
highlight.
was, because it was like you can imagine. I think the writer was like it was like a real writer, like way back in the day, and it's just been translated to make it easier. But it's still just like old time kind of talk, and it's very, like I said, over my head. I give it a few more years, maybe.
Yeah, yeah.
But other than that, since we got a little bit of time before we go to break here, you guys were getting ready for Big Tens. We'll dive into Big Tens in the next segment. But just kind of how was that? Obviously, Madison, it was your last go around, so there's probably some feelings involved with that. So how was that week kind of getting ready?
Oh, not gonna lie, my emotions were all over the place. I had no idea what to think. Like I was excited to swim and like excited to like finish it. But then also I was like sad to finish it. But I don't know. I got to room with Caitlin again, so it was
Did you?
fun. We had fun.
You guys like room every time? Feels like that's a pattern.
Only this season.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like in the past, like last year I roomed with Sarah Barton, and the year before that I had my own room. So I don't know. I get we also did request to room
Okay.
together for the last like couple meets. But yeah. How are you feeling, Caitlin?
I mean, it's really weird because right now there's like 5 people in the pool still because we have another meet that we're going to. So it's just so weird because like Madison, like a lot of my friends are seniors, and so having them all gone, I'm kind of like, where's everyone? Like, but it's still fun. I mean, Big Tens was a lot of fun. Probably the most fun meet one of the most fun meets I've had here so far. So it was good.
So now, like you said, you're seeing a lot of the seniors heading out.
Mhm.
Like it's still really early, but do you see yourself like, oh man, I'm gonna have to be like a leader, a veteran now down the road?
I mean, yeah, but I'm trying not to look too far ahead because like we still have that one meet, and
Right.
then also like I don't know, I get sad thinking about how everything's. I mean, I like change, but like at the beginning, I'm like always a little sad to have things change. So I'm trying not to focus on it too much right now. But
Yeah, and they're still in Lincoln.
Yeah.
so it's not like
Yeah.
they're gone.
well, for now.
For now. For now.
Yeah.
So last meet, a lot of feelings going in. Madison, how'd you handle those? Because I'd imagine, like you said, you're excited. You're also a little maybe sad that this is the last one. Like, how do you lock in to not let those emotions just take over?
Yeah, I kind of just had to repeat my race strategy in my head over and over. I was like, just kick, pull your arms, 8 butterfly kicks, now turn, push off. So it was very much like repeating stuff to myself and like reminding myself like you're here to race. At the end of the day, you're here to race. And like it also too like helped having my parents there, just like knowing it's like, okay, like they're watching, we're good. Like all my bases are covered. Everyone is where they need to be. Now I just need to race and swim. But yeah, no, there were a lot of tears many times, but it's okay. Yeah.
Yeah, at least but everyone was pretty healthy going into it, right? I believe last time I talked to you guys didn't really have, obviously divers, there's always back things going on with those
Yeah.
guys, but
Excluding the divers, I think we're all good. So
yeah.
Everyone was able to perform. Did you have it? Okay, good deal.
Yeah, no, there wasn't anyone that had to like
So
step back.
last time I know, Reagan said with some of the divers, they're just real bang. With the divers, it's always hard to tell though, because like I feel like those back injuries are just it's kind of across the board with divers. Feels like I don't know how those guys like measure their pain when it's too much.
Yeah, and it's more chronic too, so it's
Mhm.
just something that they just kind of dive through, and like I guess depending on how much you want it and depending on how much you can tolerate it.
You know who didn't show up though for a swim that because of some injury was Phoebe Bacon from Wisconsin. She's like did she medal?
She was the Olympic silver medalist.
yeah,
She's an Olympic silver medalist in the 2 backstroke, and she couldn't swim it because I heard she had vertigo or something. I don't know. This is all hearsay, but like she did not show up to her race, and that was like crazy because
Whoa.
she was like supposed to win it. So
Mhm.
yeah, that one
That's
was
a big loss for Wisconsin.
Mhm.
I wonder.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Was that just like last minute kind of thing too?
I
Or did you
don't
guys know
know.
about it like
No.
a good while before the meet?
So what you can you can never not show up to a race. Otherwise
Yeah.
you'll get DQ'd and like your team will get fined by the Big Ten.
That's what I was.
But you
okay.
can do a declared false start for medical reasons, and that's where you kind of have to tell them, honestly, probably like 20 minutes before the event starts, and just say like, tell the official like, hey, like I'm no one's swimming in this race, and they say okay, declared false start. But you can never not show up. So she did a declared false start, and yeah.
So she showed up, but she didn't swim.
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't know if she was at the pool or not, but like
She had to do a declared false start
Yeah.
though,
Yeah.
to get out of the fine. And
Mhm.
okay, that's interesting.
Yeah, like there's some meets too where they make you sit on the block while
Really?
the race goes. Yeah, I've seen that before. Like kids will come up like fully dressed, they stand up on the block and they just sit there, and then the race sends, and then they walk.
That's weird.
I've never
Mhm.
seen that before. That's
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah,
I feel like declared false start, you don't need to stand there. It's like
Mm.
everyone knows you're not.
I think that's just when like the officials get petty. And they're like, you're gonna take up a spot, so you're gonna sit here.
You're gonna stand here
So
in
they're,
shame.
like, trying to shame them.
Yep.
From the text line, Ross, when we were talking about books earlier, currently working through the Witcher series.
Oh,
Good stuff.
ooh.
Makes the show look bad, unfortunately. That's actually the series I'm working on right now. And
Wait, really? Because
Yeah.
that's the one I want to read. Like, I mean, I know I'm gonna be obsessed, so I'm like waiting for either spring break or summer. But that I want to read that one.
it's really good.
Okay.
It's the first 2 are like short stories that just like all kind of combine. So like
Okay.
as you're figuring out who the characters are, and then it takes off with the story. But yeah, the show's, I don't know. Have you guys seen the Witcher
I
TV
started
show?
the first episode, but then I was looking up the book and I kept hearing all these things about how the show doesn't do it justice. So then I
really-
kind of stopped. But
It's really tough. The first season was good. The second season was even worse, and then they just kind of go completely off the book. And then
No.
and now all my books have a sticker now on Netflix that it's not even a sticker; it's like on there.
Yeah, that's
and
the
I didn't
worst.
know when I ordered it. It had the now on Netflix on every single one of the books, and it's got this ugly fat Netflix sticker on all of it. And it's like not on it; it's like laminated into it.
That's the worst.
Yeah, so that sucks. That's the only thing about that. I have because I like the paperbacks because
Yeah.
it's like more satisfying, I think. But now I'm like I'm sad because I didn't realize they say now on Netflix for a TV show that I despise.
Mm-hmm. Is it a hard read? Like, is it hard to read? Or is it...
And not hard read details wise. Like, there's definitely times when they're like heavy on politics when you're trying to figure out like what's going on. But like in terms of like vocabulary level, like you could read it. I'd imagine most people could read it. Elementary, no. Middle school, probably not. Like seniors in high school could probably chew through it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a good
I don't know,
series,
man.
though.
She's got the reading level of like a 4th grader. So just kidding.
What?
I'm just kidding.
I've read all the same books you have.
With that being said, we'll let this defuse a
Okay.
little bit, and
Okay.
we'll throw it to break here on the deep end. I'm Harrison Arns running the board. We have guest Cece in today. No Reagan, but that's all right. And we have Madison as always. Appreciate you guys listening. We'll be back right after this break on 93.7 The Ticket.
Meeting your goal of having a healthy diet has never been easier than with the Venue at Home Healthy Living subscription. Chef-inspired meals that are health conscious and delivered right to your door every week. All you have to do is heat and eat. We offer delicious entrees, gluten-free pastas, fresh rice bowls, soups, salads, and more. Build your own package as a subscription to receive meals every week, designed to help you meet your dietary goals. Order your custom healthy meal package today at venueathome.net.
Hi, I'm Smokey Bear, and I made an assistant to help you prevent wildfires.
Dude, I've got this. I've been camping since I was 5 years old.
But I am a camping influencer.
You know what? I'll bet you $5. Assistant Smokey, what is the best way to put out a campfire?
To put out a campfire, drown with water, stir, drown again. Then make sure the fire is out cold by feeling with the back of your hand.
Wait, really?
I'll take the $5.
Learn more at SmokeyBear.com.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Don't let biased algorithms or degree screens or exclusive professional networks or stereotypes. Don't let anything keep you from discovering the half of the workforce who are stars. Workers skilled through alternative routes rather than a bachelor's degree. It's time to tear the paper ceiling and see the stars beyond it. Find out how you can make stars part of your talent strategy at tearthepaperceiling.org. Brought to you by Opportunity at Work and the Ad Council.
The Ticket Water Cooler with Jake Bakoven and Enrique Alvarez Clary.
You've got a bona fide star in Keisei Tamanaga, and he has got kind of a personality and a game style that is going to attract attention. And then, of course, the Rudy type of ending that you would hope to see in Sam Hoiberg. Sometimes Hollywood couldn't write it any better than what we have right now.
Gritty over pretty, right? Gritted out a tough win. Sam Hoiberg, pretty much game-sealing steal and layup.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
They are our love bugs and companions. They are our pets, our family, and they make life better. When we face unexpected challenges, so do our pets. That's why we're on a mission to support people and their pets. Whether donating a bag of kibble, sharing an Instagram post of a lost cat, or welcoming a foster pet into your home, every bit of kindness counts. Visit petsandpeopletogether.org to learn how to be a helper in your community. Brought to you by Maddie's Fund, the Humane Society of the United States, and the Ad Council.
Dance like a dad. It's a great way to make a moment with your kids. First, I hold my hands out like they're on a steering wheel. Then I look over my shoulder. Next, I put it in reverse. Visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
I think it's just vapor. Vaping is safer than smoking, isn't it?
There's really not even that much nicotine in them, right?
One vape pod has as much nicotine as one pack of cigarettes.
My kid?
My kid knows it's dangerous.
5.4 million American kids vape, and most think it's harmless. Get your head out of the cloud. Talk to your kid about vaping. Visit talkaboutvaping.org. That's talkaboutvaping.org. Brought to you by the American Lung Association and the Ad Council.
Are you a veteran looking for a new companion animal? A dog, a cat, or maybe something else?
The Nebraska Department of Veterans Affairs Vets Get Pets program can cover up to $350 of your pet adoption fees. Visit veterans.nebraska.gov/vetsgetpets to learn more about program requirements and how to apply. Want to help support the program? Get your Vets Get Pets specialty license plates from the Nebraska DMV. Sponsored by the Nebraska Department of Veterans Affairs. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Adoption of teens from foster care is a topic not enough people know about, and we're here to change that. I'm April Dinwiddie, host of the new podcast, Navigating Adoption, presented by Adopt US Kids. Each episode brings you compelling real-life adoption stories told by the families that live them with commentary from experts. Visit adoptuskids.org/podcast or subscribe to Navigating Adoption, presented by Adopt US Kids. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services Administration for Children and Families and the Ad Council.
My simple solution to the problem was remove people from the scene and help them feel safer.
In response to attacks against Asian Americans, Maddie Park raised over $250,000 to donate cab rides to the Asian community.
There is so much more work to be done. We really need to come together and tackle this issue as a community.
Support the Asian community. Learn how at lovehasnolabels.com. Brought to you by Love Has No Labels and the Ad Council.
There's nothing quite like the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese beef. The Mercado offers unique ingredients you can't find anywhere else, open every day from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. The full-service butcher shop and retail store is wonderful for meat lovers with their exclusive Certified Piedmontese beef and assorted sausages, plus other quality meats, including pork, chicken, and a wide range of the freshest seafood. Plus, every Friday from 11 to 2, the Mercado serves up the best lunch in town on their Friday Feast menu. Stop in at the Mercado today at 84th and Havelock or visit their website at cpmercado.com to see current deals.
Back to the deep end with Reagan and Madison on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome back into the deep end. I am Harrison Arns running the board. That's Madison CC across the table from me. And again, if you guys want to join the conversation, Starter Heyman text line 402-464-5685. We kind of left the last segment talking about books quite a bit. We had the listeners chime in as well. So that's great. We also had a listener during the show come in. As always, appreciate when he stops in. Again, appreciate you guys listening, and we'll probably dive into Big Tens here a little bit. Apparently some interesting fans there as well. Kind of curious about that. We'll talk about that. So where do you kind of want to start? You want to start at the beginning of Big Tens? You want to start in the middle or just a moment?
We can start from the beginning.
Yeah.
Okay.
Chronological timeline.
Yeah, you walk in and you're like, wow, this is going to be a tight fit. Because, yeah.
I had never been to the pool.
Me neither.
Okay. Also, it was Michigan, Ann
Yes.
Arbor on campus. We've never been to Michigan, never been to the pool.
Oh, that was both your guys' first time in
Yes.
Michigan.
Yes.
And but Reagan, she's not here today, but she's been to Michigan before, right? Too, hasn't she?
No, I don't think so.
That's weird. I'm surprised none of you guys have been there yet.
I think they cycle through like every 6 years or so.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, it's that big of a cycle?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll let you continue your story. That surprised me, though. I figured you guys have been to Michigan's pool already.
Yeah. I mean, it's like a very historically significant pool. It's a very
Mhm.
fast pool. So yeah, but like I think it's more of like I think they had like a pro series there.
They did
one time. Yeah. One of the stops for the pro series was there.
I'm gonna look when it was built. Curious.
It's like, I mean, the campus was really pretty, and I like how it all matched because it was all brick and stuff, like matching like the big house or like their football stadium and stuff. And it was like pretty close to it. They also had, I was driving, my mom came, and so we were driving to grab chocolate milk one day, and we got a little lost. That's an understatement. We got very lost. But as we were driving around, honestly felt like the whole campus. I saw that on their giant football screen, like on the field, they were advertising Big Tens. So I was like, oh, that's kind of cool of them to do. Like, it was like huge. I could see it from, we were probably like 2 blocks away. So yeah.
Could you guys guess how old you think that building is? It has been renovated once, so keep that in mind.
Well, I have an educated guess because Pat, our assistant coach, actually swam there when he was in college. So I'm gonna have to guess like, I think he swam there as a kid too. So I'm gonna have to guess like in 70s.
No, it's not that old.
Oh, okay. I thought you were gonna say older. I was like, oh man.
No, you're it's not as old as you think.
So early 2000s.
82?
You're getting closer. 1988, renovated and upgraded in 1998.
Oh wow.
So it is a little bit of older building, but not too old, and it's been upgraded. But I mean, it's been about 25 years since the last upgrade. So I feel like that's most of the Big Ten pools, though. I mean, that's such a big investment to make.
Yeah.
To like fix those, and most of the time you probably just have to start fresh.
Mhm.
Like with your guys' pool, you think if you're like, could they revamp that, or is that something they just have to like start fresh? Right?
They would have to knock down an entire wall and
Yeah.
redo the entire foundation of the most center part of Devaney.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah.
It does need to be done though. That's the problem. You know what I mean?
Yes, and I think that they would have to. I think the only way for them to build a new pool would for them to make a brand new rec center,
Which
with the pool.
also could be needed. Like the rec center compared to some other Big Ten rec centers is not.
I think
any sparkles.
put it
or-
in the game plan to win.
Yeah.
Like have it on paper and be like, at this year, this is going to be so outdated that no one will raise a fuss. Like that's kind of the way to do it, because I don't think it's too bad yet. The rec center to where you can maybe start that process, because I don't think it's like you said. There's definitely better schools.
Yeah.
But I feel like most schools wait for it to get like bad before they spend all that money, because you're just going to get outraced again eventually. Just kind of like what football's doing now. Like we'll be number one again in facilities, but then wait 10 years, someone else will build something cooler, and then we'll be
Yeah. Yeah.
cycle continues. But
Mhm.
anyways, you get to Big Tens, Michigan. It's packed.
Yes, packed, tiny deck space. Like we're talking like, so they had the bleachers that were like two rows of
Mhm.
bleachers, and they had that all the way around across the pool. Everyone got their own little section, but there was only 3 schools that actually had a section in front of the racing pool. So for us, since we were on the other side of the pool, we were down by like the warm-up pool. And then we had like a standing section because there wasn't enough room to actually put bleachers on that side.
Yep, I'm looking at it right now. So
Yep.
you only got bleachers on the one side, and then it's a small little deck on the other.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And so, and like even the space between the pool and the bleachers was really tiny.
I'm looking at it.
Like-
It's one person can walk by at
Yeah.
a time. You can't go side by side, otherwise someone's going to be slipping into the pool.
And the tiles itself were so slippery.
Really?
So slippery. Like you had to walk very slow or else you were going in the pool. So I don't know. I thought it was a very interesting choice of venue. For
Yeah.
Big Tens.
Yeah.
Is it like 6 years rotate no matter what, or 6 years they choose where it's going to be held?
I think it's like 6 years they choose where it's going to be held, because it's not like we know where next year's going to be held, kind of thing. For sure.
That's true. Otherwise, we'd have them all listed out right now.
But I know it's like every 6 years, because Pat was talking about how in 2018. So like before her like high school grade class came to college,
Mhm.
it was at Michigan, and they won, and so they were playing like My House all the time, because I played that song at practice one day, and Pat was like, turn it off, and because he didn't, it was like bad memories for him. But so
yeah. So yeah, that was the pool. Traveling was smooth
for the most part.
For the most part, it was a direct flight from Omaha to Detroit, but like our bus on the way to Omaha did break down, so we had to switch.
Yeah.
But that was a pretty good travel day for us.
Yes.
Even on the way back too.
Yeah, the way back was super smooth, which I appreciated.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
That's good. Good travel.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, anyways, get there. It's tight.
Get
You're
there.
assessing the tiles. The tiles are slick.
Yes.
How does real quick before we get out? How do the warm ups for something like that go when it's that packed?
So since it's a long course pool,
Mhm.
the actual think of like the long way of a rectangle. The racing part will go this way, and then there's a bulkhead.
Okay.
And then the rest of the pool is like warm up lanes, and it'll go this way. The meet started at what, 10 o'clock?
Yeah.
So meet started at 10 o'clock. Pool will open at 7:30. 7:30.
So you guys kind of taking turns, because I can still imagine.
Oh no, everyone jumps in at the same time.
Oh, okay.
It's called open warm up, and it's literally the best example of survival of the fittest.
I was gonna say it seems chaotic.
Yeah, like if you look up like a picture of swim meet warm-ups,
Yeah.
and you will see how crowded it is. Granted, for college, it's a little bit better because people know what they're doing, and so they continuously keep swimming, and like they also kind of time out their warm-up, so not everyone is jumping in right when 7:30 hits. Like some people will wait to warm up later if their events are later in the meet. But like when it was club swimming, holy guacamole! Imagine like 30 kids in one lane swimming on top of each other.
It's mayhem.
It is mayhem. It was the worst part. So yeah, that's how warm-ups work. And
yeah, I tried to find pictures and it just looks like a bunch of water splashing around. It just looks like chaos. So
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't too bad because like there were kind of like scheduled out times, like 3, like when for at least like the first day we got here, like before the meet started, there was like 3 teams at like 4 and then 3 teams at 4:45, and then it kind of kept going, and we were on like the last one, and so we were good except one team decided to overstay their little time slot, but besides that it was pretty good.
Mhm.
do you guys feel like you guys are good to go? Like after warm-ups though, how were like
Yeah.
jitters, nerves? Like, so how'd those first events pop off for you guys?
Mine okay, so mine was a 50 free, and that one if you mess up anything it's just your race is not done, but like
It's a
it'll-
small window.
yeah.
You got to be perfect.
Like yeah, so like little mistakes matter, and I just messed up my wall really bad, so that one didn't go as well for me, but I time trialed again at night and it was better. So like not like a best time, which is what I wanted, but it was okay. Like
Bounce back from
yeah.
the first one at least.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got out of that mindset.
Yeah. I mean, that was probably I'm kind of upset. I'm upset that I messed it up because I had like that was probably the best mindset I ever had going into a meet beforehand.
Really?
So yeah, so like I was ready to go, and then that happened, and that shook me a little, but we got over it.
Yeah, my first event was the 2IM, and like before that, even like planning purposes, it was already gonna be like, okay, like this one is just for fun. Like we trained for it, yes, but like
Mhm.
it also wasn't like our main focus, and so I did it. I will never be a brush joker, no matter how hard I try. So no, like it was fun. I mean, the time wasn't where I was like for invite, but like I thought it was like a good race to get out of the way
Mhm.
first. So yeah, and I mean like at that point you just gotta move on and then like stand up and cheer for the other people. And that's the biggest thing when it comes to conference is you standing up and cheering for people goes a lot farther than like your individual races.
Yeah.
That makes sense. And then Ohio State would win it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
They came
they-
away with it.
Yeah.
At
Do you
one
guys
point-
suspect that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's yeah.
We talked about that. I think we were looking at Ohio State, and then who were the other schools you guys were kind of?
Well, we completely forgot about Indiana for some reason, but
I thought we brought them at the end. Maybe we did miss them completely.
I think they weren't even on the list.
Oh man, sorry Indiana. We knew you were
Sorry.
good. We did. We just
Yeah, and then it was like Michigan and Wisconsin.
Yep.
After that, and like that's what it ended up being.
Yeah.
pretty
I mean,
much.
At one point, Ohio State was 4th. I don't remember at what day or what time it was, but I saw that and I was like, oh my gosh, maybe it'll happen. And then all the sprinting events came and they.
Is that where they dominate? Their bread
Yeah.
and butter, the sprinting events.
It's
Yeah.
like stupid dominate kind of thing.
Like they have 4 people in the A final, and then they're like, okay, the relays are a different story because there is some questionable.
Oh yes, you want to explain that?
I mean, okay, I don't remember. You'll have to tell me like the exact amount of who did what, but there were certain teams where, so like when you're coming in for relay,
Mhm.
you're supposed to have the officials judge if there's any like false starts, like people go like their feet leave before the other person's hand touches, but because it can get down to like 0.01 of a second, like that's really risky, but like you could technically be okay still if that happened. Somebody invented a thing where they have it so that the touchpad and then the block, like they have a thing on top of the block that measures when the person's foot leaves the like the top of it, and so that way it shouldn't matter too much what the officials say, and like because you have like
You have
legit
proof no
evidence
matter
of
what,
whether
yeah.
somebody like false started or not. And there were 2 teams on a few different occasions that had like negative time like reactions, so meaning that they false
Yeah.
started because you're not supposed to go under 0.01.
Yeah, if you have a negative time, you left early.
Yeah, and so there's ones on like the results that say they have a negative time, but because the officials didn't call it, it didn't count or something. I don't know exactly how that worked. I just know that there is some questionable behavior.
So the officials have to step in before it goes off, otherwise they can't overturn it.
Yeah, like I think it's like before the results posted. I think too it was also the way that the wedge was situated on the block. Like the wedge technically wasn't touching the pad on the block. So like you have the block and then it's like this like gray mat kind of, and then you have the wedge on top. So I think the other problem too was that the wedge wasn't exactly touching the pad on
Oh,
the
okay, I get
block.
what you're saying.
So then like
might not have been able to give like proper readings.
yeah, because when you do a relay start, so okay, we're getting technical. So you have when you do a regular start, you have one foot in front of the other. like this,
Mm-hmm.
just a flat start. But when you do a relay start, you put this foot behind the wedge and this foot's on top of the wedge. So when you circle around, you'll like step over the wedge. So I
Mhm.
think it was reading the time that when they took their back foot off, they're saying like, oh, they're leaving
Oh, really?
because they weren't touching the touchpad. But like still like 0.5, it does not take you 0.5 seconds to go like that.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
It makes sense. The only thing is,
That's
like,
how I interpreted what was happening.
I heard somebody was putting their hands on the back of the block so that somebody thought that the hands.
What?
Conspiracy.
Like, I don't know. Okay,
Oh,
again, this is all
man.
hearsay. I don't know any of this for sure, but I heard a rumor that somebody was putting their hands on the back of the block so that somebody like they wouldn't catch it because somebody's hand would be on it, and so the thingy on the block would think that the hand was
Yeah.
a foot. So I don't know. Man. It was anyway.
Is
there's
that
this-
like normal? Like, has that happened before where you've
No.
had two times? You said, yeah, there's two teams
Yeah.
where it happened twice.
Yeah, so there's just question marks.
I've never seen that before.
I don't
Huh.
know. I mean,
you know, the officials too have to be looking at each other like this isn't good.
Well, okay, here's the other thing. We had a girl, we're going to talk about the 100 back. What was it? 100
oh,
back? The
yes.
100 back.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
This one was bad.
This one got me angry. So when you do a backstroke start, there's like a wedge
Mhm.
and it's on like a lever and you kind of pull it down underneath the surface of the water and there's a lever. So you pull the lever, it loosens it so you can adjust it however you want. And you're supposed to push the lever back so it locks in place. Every backstroker knows that's what you're supposed to do. Okay. It's just common knowledge. That's how you use a backstroke
Like
wedge.
even I know it, and I'm not a backstroker.
Exactly.
Okay.
Okay. And so they swim the 100 back. Gabby Donahue, she makes it into the finals. They take the top 24. She got 24. She made it in. We're like, yes, okay, let's go.
Mhm.
I won't say the team, but there was another girl who declared she didn't lock the wedge properly, and so when she went on her start, she slipped off the wedge because the wedge moved as she was like jumping
Yeah,
off
she
into
didn't
her
lock it.
start. Yeah, and so like at that point, that's your own fault. You didn't put the wedge in properly. Her coach went up to the officials and declared that that she needed a reswim because it was out of her control. And the officials gave her the reswim. So she reswam it, bumped Gabby Donahue out because she went faster, qualified for the B final.
So she also bumped out somebody from another team into the C final, which is a big deal.
Oh, man.
Those
Yes.
points matter.
And then she throws the race in final. She adds like 3 seconds to her seed time and gets last in the B final.
Oh man, that one does gotta hurt.
Yeah. So
Has that
angry.
happened before where someone's messed up the wedge like
No.
through
Well,
your entire
okay.
career and they've gotten a redo?
I've seen somebody. So one of my former teammates, it's a guy. He swam for Cal, and so there's two types of these backstroke wedges. There's ones like this that have the lever that'll do it on their own, and then there's other ones that are like more official and like what they use for at the Olympic trials and Olympics. And those ones, the officials have to pull them out themselves. And so the official forgot to pull his out, and so when he flipped, he hit the wall weird because the wedge was still in there. So like that one was actually like
That's legit because the officials are
Yes.
you're not even supposed to touch it. Is what it sounds like.
So like the official forgot to take it out. So that's the only time I've seen somebody be able to do a reswim because he race swam it and he got into like this was at NCAAs and he got I think into the A final. So like it was
Yeah.
crazy. But that's the only time I've seen
I can think
anything like
is
that.
if that wedge like was truly faulty.
No.
Like because
It wasn't. Because no one else had that problem in that lane.
I don't know. I'd have to dive into the books then why she got to reswim.
Purely because of the coach's influence.
It might have been. Like you could be right. Like the
Yeah.
official could have just crumbled under the pressure and not made the right call.
Yeah.
I
don't
wonder.
know.
That's
I-
one you'd have to know all the details before I call anyone out. But it does make you. It's not fun when you have big tens and things like that happen.
Yeah. So like nothing's for sure. There's just questionable
There was
questions. Like
some-
there's question
yeah.
marks in certain areas.
Yeah. And like our coaches like tried contesting it.
And so did the other teams who
I think
person
I
got
would
knocked out
too.
of
If
the
I
B
was the
final.
coach, I would contest it.
Yeah.
So I would be like, well, like you said, you got your swimmer in at 24.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But shout out to Gabby because man, she was so angry about that. She swam so fast on the relay. Like she took her anger out like she not made up for it, but like
She had an awesome relay.
yeah,
That's good.
she split super fast. So yeah.
Okay. With that being said, though, we better go to break here. We're up to our last one. This is the Deep End. I am Harrison Arns. That is special guest Cece and host Madison. We'll be back right after this break on 93.7 The Ticket, ticketfm.com. Sunday morning. It's quiet, not in a weird, too quiet way. Calm, peaceful, tranquil. You pour yourself that cup of coffee. You slice yourself a hearty chunk of one of Beatrice Bakery's breakfast breads. Now, maybe you're an apple streusel guy. Nothing wrong with that. I can respect that. Personally, I'm a turtle nut man. Something about those pecans. But the real ones know, don't sleep on that date nut bread. Sweet, but not too sweet. Nutty, not overly. The perfect morning treat. Beatrice Bakery. Online at beatricebakery.com. Welcome to our world of yum.
Do you remember your favorite teacher? I sure do. I'm Jenny Benson, president of the Nebraska State Education Association. Teachers push students to do their best and help kids when they struggle. They make their classrooms welcoming and safe for all students. They create engaging lessons that help students access complex concepts and make connections. Support our public school teachers and students. Help make this the best school year yet.
Sponsored by the Nebraska State Education Association, aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association in this station.
1 in 3 adults has prediabetes. 1 in 3. That means it could be you, your football buddy, your football buddy, or you, your best man, your worst man, you, your dog walker, your cat jogger. While 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes, with early diagnosis, prediabetes can be reversed. Take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org. That's doihaveprediabetes.org.
Wait, did they just say 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes? That's 33.33333% of adults. That means it could be me, my boss, or my boss's boss, or me, my favorite sister, or my other sister. That's 7 members of my 21-person romantic book club. Wait, the 1 in 3 could be me, my karaoke partner Carol, or my karaoke enemy Jeff. I'm going to take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Brought to you by the Ad Council and its Prediabetes Awareness Partners.
Early break with Sip and Jake.
I just feel like people are not talking about enough the incomplete passing. This blows my mind. Why does it blow your mind? Because that's a strategy to the end of the game of either spiking the ball or, hey, find something to stop the clock.
Now you can't do it.
You can't just stop the clock. That's a part of football.
So,
it's always been a part of football.
Right.
You can't just.
You're
You're
right.
changing the end of games completely.
Yeah, so what?
Why would you do that?
I don't think you have to stress that one too much. Don't even stress it. It won't happen.
Early break with Sip and Jake from 6 to 8 every weekday morning on 93.7 The Ticket.
Hey, you got any gum?
Yeah, check my backpack.
What's this?
Oh, that's naloxone. It can reverse an opioid overdose. I decided to always keep it on me after my friend almost died. It saved his life.
I'm so sorry. That makes me want to have it with me too.
You totally should. Check the pharmacy. It was actually really easy to get and it's easy to use.
I definitely will. Thanks.
Paid for by the CDC. Sponsored by Nebraska DHHS. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Ashiro's work is never done. You care for the house, the kids, and our future. We're so grateful for all you do. Now it's time to care for yourself and save a little more for retirement. A free 3-minute online chat can give you the personalized tips you need to boost your retirement savings now. Visit aceyourretirement.org/Shiro today.
A public service announcement brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Don't let biased algorithms or degree screens or exclusive professional networks or stereotypes. Don't let anything keep you from discovering the half of the workforce who are stars. Workers skilled through alternative routes rather than a bachelor's degree. It's time to tear the paper ceiling and see the stars beyond it. Find out how you can make stars part of your talent strategy at tearthepaperceiling.org. Brought to you by Opportunity at Work and the Ad Council.
Landmark Implement is your local authorized John Deere dealer. Landmark's trained and certified sales staff will help you find the right equipment for your needs at a price that's right for you, all backed by Landmark's extensive parts and service network. Whether it's a tractor, planter, combine, an easy track lawnmower, or gator, every piece of equipment in pre-owned inventory is put through a rigorous inspection so it's ready to work hard for you. Landmark's team works together to make sure everything is sold meets their quality standards. Learn more at landmarkimp.com or stop into a local Landmark location and experience the Landmark difference.
Back to the deep end with Reagan and Madison on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome back into the deep end. I am Harrison Arns, here with CC, special guest and host Madison, as always. Again, if you want to join the show, Sartor Heyman text line 402-464-5685. You can add your input in that way. And we still have the breeze. That will go from 12 to 1. That's me, Haas, and DP, so definitely be sure to stay tuned in for that one as well. But over the break, we talked about Madison. She's got... her swimming career is coming to a close. New hobbies are on the horizon. Starting today, what have you signed up for?
Bar class.
You're going to have to explain bar class.
Bar
'cause
class. Spelled.
I'm still not quite sure what it is. You explained it. Now there's music, there's disco lights,
Yes.
and calisthenics.
It's fantastic. So it's like bar as in BARRE, as in like a ballet bar kind of thing. So imagine that in your head with like mirrors.
Well, see, funny story. When you told one of our other friends who's from Italy, she was like, I'm pretty sure that's called a bar class. She's like a pole dancer. I'm like,
no, the pole is horizontal, not vertical.
So,
yeah, and so like it's kind of like think like ballet movements, like you know how like typical think of the movies, like you hang onto the bar and like you go into a squat and up and then like lift your leg and like hold it. So like it's like that, but like very much like Harrison said, calisthenics kind of vibes, and it's all body weight, it's all holding, and my legs were shaking. Like I would like go into the squat and try to do what he was telling me to do, and my legs would start shaking like this much, and then I'd stop and I'd be like, okay, like shake it out. It's like, okay, I'm good. Let's try it again, and go back down and go immediately shaking. So like it was a fantastic workout, and I was very sore. Like
is it like an hour long or how long?
50 minutes.
Okay, so just about.
Yeah, 50 minutes, and they do like every like the entire body, like arms, core, legs, hips. Like it was good.
That actually sounds brutal. That's one thing. Calisthenics will humble you really fast. Like when you're only lifting your body weight. Because I did. You've been on Fitness Fanatics with those guys, and like they have arm things, and they're like the first thing they tell you if like you put your arms out doing the vertical. I always forget the flies. Yeah, flies, and then they say grab a yellow band, which is like the weakest one, and you pull it right here and it feels like nothing, and you're like, okay, we'll step it up. And then I grab a green band, which isn't that much higher, and I am just dead after 20, and I can't even get them up, and it's just my arms basically and maybe 2 pounds from this band, and I couldn't do it, and I was like, it's so humbling. So I believe it. The calisthenics, just the body weight alone,
yeah,
that'll humble you really fast.
Yeah, and there were like weights, but it was like 2-pound weights, like you said.
Yeah,
and they're like, you could go up to 3, but like we recommend. And I was like, oh no, I'll stay right here with my 2s. No worries. So
what about you, Caitlin? Are you interested in taking bar classes?
I mean, I'll try one because I'm intrigued to see what this is like after her stories. But like I don't know, I like to run a lot, so which I feel like I've said before. So I'll probably like when I retire, I'll probably do that. I'll probably swim a little bit because I still like doing it. I'll probably take like a little break first, but like I know a lot of the other friends who graduated last year, a lot of them haven't touched the water since Big Tens.
Really?
Maybe like once, but yeah. So I was like, I still think I want to swim a little bit, but yeah, or like the Peloton. My parents have one of those back home. That thing is so much fun. Like
they seem cool. I want to try one.
Yeah.
But
And
they're very expensive to buy myself.
Yeah. Definitely only use it because my parents have it. But the coaches are so nice. Like I mean, Pat and Pablo are great. Don't get me wrong. But being told that I can do it every 10 seconds, such a boost. So like with all that combined, I think it'd be cool to do like a triathlon, but that's the only thing I've ever thought of.
Are you gonna hop back in the pool, you think? Anytime soon, or is it just gonna be purely leisure from here on out?
Purely leisure. I mean, I thought of like triathlons have also crossed my mind before, but like it'd be like, oh, triathlon, I'm gonna run and bike as my training, but we'll just YOLO the swimming part.
Yeah, you got that down. You at that point, like I feel like most people that do the triathlon, the swimming's like the last thing they really lock in on because it's like I'm not gonna learn how to be an elite swimmer. And I'm just like the cardio will get my lungs and I'll make it across the water.
Yeah, exactly.
But you guys probably be awesome at triathlons.
Yeah.
Because that little part, you could probably catch so much ground on people that aren't good swimmers.
Yeah.
Yeah. I used to do them when I was little because my dad was big into triathlon. So
Really?
he'd like enroll us in like the kiddie one while he did his like legit one.
That's fun.
And it'd be like a 2 laps, like a 50.
Oh.
And I'd be like, oh, suckers. Bye. No.
See, I want to do like I I say this, I don't know if I'd actually follow through this, but I think it'd be cool to do an Ironman, like at least once before I
What's
die.
the Ironman? I forget what it is. I know it's brutal, and you have to be a madman to do it. So
I don't know. I think it's a mile swim.
2.
It's 2 miles. Oh, okay. I don't know for sure. I just know it's a marathon and then a certain amount of swimming, a certain amount of biking.
Yeah, it's like 2 miles swimming and definitely over 50 miles of biking.
Okay.
Something like that.
Yeah. See, I wouldn't be doing it if I did it. I don't think I'd be doing it for like a time. I think I would just be doing it to complete it. So, like, I mean, I would do my best, but like, there
Yeah.
wouldn't be like try to qualify for something or anything.
So the Ironman, it's a 2.4 mile swim, 112 mile bicycle ride,
Holy
and
cow.
a marathon, 26 miles.
I mean, I could map one out in Lincoln for you. You could try it.
This will definitely be a post collegiate career type of thing.
I didn't realize it was over 100 miles on a bike either. That's a lot. That's brutal. 112 miles biking after swimming.
Mm-hmm. They
two.
have to listen
Yeah.
to music while they do that.
Yeah. And the fact that like you have to run a marathon at the end of all of it.
Yeah, like once you get
Like,
done with all that,
yeah.
it's like, all right, get off the bike. Like just imagine getting off the bike after doing 112 miles on a bike. Your legs are jelly, and you just got done swimming 2.4 miles before you got on the bike. And like you said, now you're like, okay, marathon time.
Mm-hmm.
I probably would take that like the swimming part at least since it's first. Like that would be total like not easy, but like that would not be a very fast pace.
Yeah, no.
Coast a little bit,
Yeah,
knowing
it'd be
that
like a warm up, like doop-a-doop-a-doo.
Mm-hmm.
that's probably the only way to get through it, unless you're one of those crazy people that manages to win those races like
yeah.
frequently. Then you just
not the goal.
Yeah.
Uh,
That's kind of me. Like with marathons, like I always want to try one, but
Uh-huh.
I don't have like any. I'm not trying to make it to New York and be top 100. Like that's
Yeah.
that takes so much training. Like to be at that level of shape.
Mhm.
Like that's like the guy David Goggins always talk about. Like to be at that level is just you have to be so different. It just experience pain in a way that's different than everyone else. But you guys could try triathlon. You guys would be
Good.
Yeah, set up for it. Maybe not the Ironman.
Yeah, that's a years down the road type of goal.
we got to get through the half marathon first.
I mean, yeah.
So before we get out of here, Madison, since Big Tens is over for you, what's next? What's next for you? Obviously, school, finish that up.
Mhm.
But what's down the road for you?
Moving to Indianapolis for AA school, and then, well, no, first, I am going to a study abroad trip to Japan.
Oh, really?
After graduation, yeah,
Okay, that'll be cool.
yeah, and then we're doing like a family vacation cruise around Italy, so I'll get to do some traveling over the summer, and then I'll go to school in Indianapolis.
Is that starting the fall?
Yes, it's
Okay.
like around the same time. I think pretty sure it's the same day that UNL starts.
Okay, yeah. I'd imagine the cycle is pretty similar.
Mhm.
But nonetheless, that's good to hear that you are continuing to accomplish your goals down the road, and then you're gonna have a fun summer. Looks like too. You're not gonna have to worry about working super hard, at least not yet.
Yeah, no, not yet.
But I appreciate CC stepping in here for Reagan today on the deep end. It was great to have her input after Big Tens, as well as Madison as well. I appreciate you guys listening. We have The Breeze up next. It's me, Haas, and DP. They're going to be talking wrestling. So if you guys want to get in on that, be sure to stay tuned in. Appreciate you guys listening and enjoy the rest of your Sunday.